Hey guys, welcome back to Lost Odyssey. Chocolate Milk here, and we're going to be going to the second Grand Staff today. Because we weren't just there, and I haven't had enough of this place. Can never get enough of the Grand Staff. But, fortunately, this is the very last time we'll ever have to go to any Grand Staff of any kind. So what I'm going to do is just going to speed this up here. All you have to do is just use the Nautilus and go into this little channel here, right by this big purple glowing dot. And again, when you get here, it's going to ask you to go, and it says you cannot return to this point. However, again, just like before, you can go back, so just enter. And it looks like it's almost like a creature now, so I mean, this Grand Staff is some serious stuff. We are so badass.
Alright, the only way to get through is to jump. Right. Jump?
This is like suicidal. We're just gonna jump on Grand Staff. God.
Save your breath. Captain! Save your breath!
Oh, you guys are just perfect for one another. He wants the stars to be directly behind the mirrors and needs the power of Grand Staff to do it. He wants to use the magic energy amplified by Grand Staff as a medium. He can completely destroy the mirrors that way. Grand Staff was built for this. Gungar has fooled all of Aura.
So we're a little past Aura, but whatever you say. Alright, so this is so epic right here. Well, we made it to Grand Staff, or the second Grand Staff, I should say. Completely just barged right in. Our team has the best way to do things, I gotta say. They got some balls, seriously. Alright. So now we can get started in this stupid place. And unfortunately, it's going to be quite a long ways until we find him. So, if you thought the first Grand Staff was annoying, this place is even worse. Oh yes, you bet your ass the game would make this place more shitty. I guess I shouldn't really say that. It's not like it's any more difficult, it's just a lot longer. As for enemies in this area, they're all going to, again, mostly be magical. And by this point in the game, since we've already done all the side questing stuff, you should have a lot of the really good accessories on your party. So, ailment resistance and element resistance and things like that will really help you out. If you have any really good rings, you can put those on and just switch your team out accordingly. There's nothing up that ladder, I just checked. So we're just gonna go down the elevator after hitting that switch. Or I should say up the elevator, I guess we're going up. To the next area. I think we have to hit this first before we do anything else. There's a lot of switch pressing in this area, or I guess terminal switching is more the correct term for it. But yes, puzzles galore. And if you're wondering where the music for the first Grand Staff came from, well, this is where it came from, so... I didn't forget to plug in my audio cables this time around. I just don't know what I was thinking. So, more ladders, which is what Lost Odyssey is good for. Ladders, and switches, and walking, and all that good stuff. And looting. Can't forget the looting. Alright, so this is a lift, as said will point out. And this is where the puzzle part starts to come in. So, depending on what way you move, the lift will move a different way, and you can get treasures by moving in a certain way, and you can also move up and down. And so you want to get all the treasures here before moving on by moving the lift a certain way. Again, just like with the first Grand Staff, if you forget something here, you can always go back and get it at the auction house. So, don't worry too much about it. First level, all you're going to do is rise after you've gotten the first treasure. Don't move anything, just rise up to the second floor here. And I think there's some stuff we can check out before we move anything. Ah yeah, there's a chest over here. You get some pretty good stuff here, actually. Get some pretty cool accessories that help us out quite a bit for the rest of the game. Although we're pretty much at the end of the game, so it's not like we need much help at this point, but any little bit helps. If I could friggin' get to the stupid terminal to look at it, you want to rotate it left first. Pretty much does like a 180 around the whole entire area, and then rise. If you happen to not rise it so that it's compatible, what it will do is you'll rise, but it'll like stop and you'll be forced to go back down. So you have to find the right combination before moving up, or else the game won't let you. So just keep trying combinations. I had to look at a guide for this because I just did not feel like screwing around with it, especially this is like the last huge dungeon of the game that's actually mandatory. I've always hated this place. That terminal will get us a treasure chest. Cha-ching! Treasure. So now I go back and turn more switches. I guess it's really not so bad when you're playing. But again, this is another area it's just hard to do commentary on. I can't remember how many levels there are to this lift even. I think there's 5? I want to say 4 or 5 because I think we're on the 3rd level now. Inferno Horn, that one's for Jansen. And then we can finally actually get moving again without any switches, which will be nice. Alright. Move into the 4th level now. I think there's still stuff to collect too. As a matter of fact. I think there's still something on the other. Oh yeah, it's way over there. So there's actually 2 ladders in this area. There's that one there, which you're going to completely ignore. That one there, which you're also going to completely ignore. And of course, they wanted to make your life miserable by making you go all the way around, and so you can find this chest here for Lord's Earrings. Good accessory, like I was saying. Alright, so now it's just a matter of which ladder to choose. So you want to go to this one first. We'll be going up the other one eventually, but for now, just ignore it. It's not important at this very second, so go up here first to the magic control section. Now if you forget to operate the terminal, nothing will work, so try to push this button in because you're supposed to push all the buttons, but it will not work. So that's why operating all these terminals is important, obviously. Nothing works without power. So in this room, you're gonna start pushing in all these buttons. It kind of makes like a noise when you push it in, because when you're playing the game, it doesn't really look like you push it in. Like there's not really any distinguishable thing that makes it look like you pushed it in. So just listen for the noise, and then some of the buttons do things. Like for example, this one will cause this, I don't know, piston or barrel or whatever it is to move. So that's a pretty decent indicator, I would say. Like I said, this is just a dungeon of pushing lots of switches. Gongora has this place pretty well designed. I wonder how many workers he had to get in here to like build this place. I mean, he could have just like built it himself. Well, no, I don't know. I mean, he had workers for the experimental staff and the other grand staff. I don't know. Seeing as how he was the king, I'm sure he wouldn't really have a whole lots of trouble getting people to build something for him. Now that all the buttons are pushed in, you're gonna go up the ladder. I think there's 4 buttons to push total. We just pushed 3. So push this one here, and again, like the piston or the, you know, whatever it is, will move into place and start moving. Now I know that elevator looks tempting. I know it does. But you're gonna have to ignore it. I know it hurts me too, but we have to go back and see that other ladder that we ignored earlier. Because I said you were gonna go back to it, and you know, I don't go back on my word, so let's head that way, shall we? There's plenty of looting to be done in this area. So now we're just gonna go back to the ladder. Again with the ladders. And again with the chests. So glad this game's finishing up, man. I put so much time into this game, holy crap. Alright, now here you're gonna have to stop the thing from moving in time so you can actually hop across it. So if you've done it correctly, you'll be able to jump across onto like a platform. And then you'll be able to... There's treasure over here, pretty sure. Ah yes, there we go. This is the only way you'll get it, so that's a white spell reflect if you feel like getting that. And hop back across, and before you leave, do not forget to turn it back on. Alright, yeah, in this case it's on because it's moving. We turned it off, which is kind of backwards from what we've been doing. I'm just gonna go back down and go back to where we were before. That was it. Now we're going to go and we're going to take that incredibly tempting looking elevator we saw earlier in a few minutes here. There's also an incredibly tempting looking chest that I must get. What you have to do here is you have to stop the, I don't know, what is that, like a wheel from moving enough so that Kime can cross it. And you have to stop it at the right time, it'll stop, so that the little, I don't know, stick part of it isn't sticking up so you can't get across. There you go, and then the third one. That's why you needed the things to keep moving, because if you stopped it, it would have stopped in an incorrect position and you wouldn't have been able to move it, so there we go. Once the way is cleared, you may reap your reward, which is a wyvern's tail. I don't think that's actually useful right now. I think since I did all the side quests first, my characters pretty much have the best weapons they can get, so depending on where you are and what you did, that'll be useful or it won't. So that's about it. I think we're about ready to move on to the upper levels of the Grand Staff, or at least, you know, a different part of it, because we're gonna take that elevator now. And we're slowly but surely getting this place done. This is actually kind of a halfway point, I guess I would say. This is the glass chamber. In here you can save your game, and this is actually where Gongora is. As you can see, there's a big barrier up. And there's no way we're getting up there.
It's the portal to our world.
Is that where you came from?
Yes. So you're not going back to your world, right? I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. But, you know, just, are you still deciding?
No. In my heart, I already decided.
Yep, we're right by the Tower of Mirrors. Well, since we're at the halfway point, I think it's a good time to stop. And then in the next video, we'll continue on in the second Grand Staff. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later.